However, assume for a moment with me that I have a job, right? I have a job and I work 10 hours a day and so forth and so on. And I really do have a deep level of commitment to try to get to this truth that we talk about, right? It may not be 24/7, but it may be, something that I have a deep level of awareness of. Why would you look at that as something that, hey, I'm not ready for that? What would cause you to think that despite the fact that I'm not committed 24/7 to it, I'm not ready to to reveal that person that, that the truth reveals?
Because there is something that everyone is ready for. And that something is what they do 24/7.
And is it doable when you actually have to get up and go to work every day for 10 hours a day? Would you consider that part of the 24/7, or do you have to abandon that?
Nothing is doable. Nothing is doable. It is only the things that you have no choice but to do are doable. Everything else is not doable. There is something in your life that you do 24 hours a day without counting the hours. There are things in your life that you do without even thinking. Every single day, every single night.
Mm-hmm.
You never say, is it doable to do that? You only say, is it doable to do things that you don't really want to do? If I put a bunch of money in an undisclosed location, and you have a meeting at 5 o'clock, and I tell you, I left you a whole bunch of money, but it's only available at 5 o'clock. Are you going to, and you're hungry for money. You're starving and you need money. Are you going to say, is it doable to get there at 5 o'clock?
Of course not.
Okay, so that's my point. You only ask the doable and is it okay if I practice 12 hours, not 12? It's all nonsense. It's all lies. Everyone is a liar. And that isn't bad. It's what they are. Everyone's a liar.
So when you think about change, so basically we're all telling ourselves stories, right? And those stories are validating that we need to stay in kind of on the path that we're on right now, as opposed to be completely abandon that, let go of that shit and head towards the truth. And is it that desperation then that we don't have?
Well, only if the desire for that is there. There's no like, I'm on this path and I need to let go of this and go for the truth. No, that's prescriptive. If the desire overwhelms a person to go for the truth, then they'll automatically move in that direction. If they do it because they should, it's a waste of time.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree that it's a waste of time, right? But again, as we've talked about in the past, there's shit that's getting in the way that for whatever reason, either we don't want to face or we can't identify or both. Right? And perhaps we haven't reached that level of desire to look deeper or to get into that immersive phase that you're talking about that would allow us to at least get a window into that and try to understand it.
Well, I'm not talking about a phase. I'm not talking about getting to some stage or some level. I'm saying that everyone is obsessed with something. And the only thing that they will get in their life consistently is the thing that they're obsessed with. Everyone gets...
Your obsession is truth.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
That isn't a good thing. That's not good and positive.
But it's your life.
I didn't choose that, right? That it was a chosenness. I never chose that. I never sat down with a guidance counselor and said, what would be good and fit my personality type? What a bunch of crap. That's an insult to a human organism. No one chooses anything. We are chosen.
And for those people, Kapil, who aspire to be chosen, at some point, are they just going to feel it? Do they choose themselves? Do we make a decision to kill off the past and move in a different direction?
If the aspiration is that strong, then they will not wait to be chosen. If the aspiration is that strong, they've already been chosen.
Yeah, I guess that's what separates.
It's all about self-honesty, and the reason, and it's not human beings' fault they're not self-honest. It's not. It's that society has condemned them, which prevents them from being self-honest. Because if a person says, I don't know, I don't think before I act. Fine. Okay. Society, and they've internalized society, which is the mind. The mind is an internalized society. That's what the mind is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The mind come down upon them and say, well, you should always think before you act. That's totally wrong. How can you not think before you? Do you know how much pain you have caused by not thinking before you act? But here's 5 steps. From now on, make sure that you do it. And then when you don't do it, says, and see, I gave you a way to do it, and you didn't even follow through. You're just bad, right? So when that is the environment, when that is the micro environment, and it's all based upon good or bad, then the human being is imprisoned forever.
Mm-hmm.
He is imprisoned by the guillotine of badness. He is on the hook to become good. And therefore, he will follow any prescription or any rule which gives him the self-image, even in his own eyes, of being a good person. And that is why he will not be self-honest, including you. I guarantee you, if I put a GoPro, if I put a video camera on you, and I watch you, you're going to be doing a whole bunch of nonsense. And then the first thing you're going to say right now is, I know, you're right, I will. Even that's nonsense. If you really knew that it was nonsense, you wouldn't be doing it. So you don't know. That's just lip service. You don't know. That's the beginning of self-honesty. Not by me saying it to you, but by you giving yourself the freedom to be able to acknowledge that inside yourself without the slightest bit of self-condemnation. That is the beginning of the Holy Grail. And that exists nowhere in society. Not in the meditation hall, not in the retreat, not with the mindfulness instructor, not with the motivational speaker, not even with the priest. That exists nowhere.
So do you think all of us deal with this self-image that's a lie then?